Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing another episode, maybe I'm going to call it, of Instagram Decides. Now, I asked you guys on my Instagram to tell me what is the most addictive fragrance in your opinion, and I have a few fragrances here. I think all of them I totally agree with, and I am excited for this video. I feel like this video is gonna look a little bit sponsored by MFK. It is 100% not. I wish I would be sponsored by MFK, but there is 3 Maison Kurkdjian fragrances in here, so don't think that that's on purpose. It's just from you guys. So I'm gonna start out with one that I wasn't necessarily expecting because I didn't think so many people knew about this fragrance, but apparently you do. It is Initio Absolute Aphrodisiac. This fragrance is totally amazing and I completely agree with you guys on this one. Absolute Aphrodisiac is this beautiful, very smooth, creamy, ambery, woody vanilla scent with something kind of chocolatey almost. Like it almost has this kind of milk chocolatey sensation going on in here, and it's just incredible. This is a fragrance that I can get on board with. I totally agree with you guys on this one. It's one of my favorite vanillas, a vanilla that I would recommend if you want something very sexy, because it definitely has something slightly animalic in the back. For the most part, it is just this beautiful, smooth, creamy, delicious, ambery, woody vanilla scent with a bit of like this chocolatey sensation. Incredible, 10 out of 10 fragrance. Definitely an addictive one in my opinion, and apparently in your guys as well. Of course, we're gonna have Baccarat Rouge 540 in this list. A lot of people did refer to the Extrait, some people the original, but more people recommended the Extrait as their most addictive fragrance. Now, it's a fragrance that I obviously love and I obviously wear. If you guys can see my bottle, I've worn it a lot. I love Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait. I do prefer it over the Eau de Parfum. I definitely think it is an addictive fragrance. I made a TikTok the other day and I know it's not that serious, but I feel when I wear Baccarat Rouge 540, I don't feel unique anymore. And maybe that doesn't matter to a lot of you guys, and I totally respect that. But myself, when I wear a fragrance, I want it to smell unique. Like I want someone to smell me and be like, whoa, like what is that fragrance? And I feel like with Baccarat Rouge now, it's so popular, especially where I live in Dubai, so you can imagine it's a very big city. There's a lot of people passing through or visiting or living here, and people love fragrance here. So this DNA, whether it's the original or a dupe, it's so common. And I feel like myself, the only time that I wear this fragrance is when I'm mixing it with other scents. I know that's not the point of this video. The point is addictive fragrances, and yes, 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 this is an addictive scent. But I mentioned it in my TikTok. I just feel like nowadays with all of the dupes or the brand interpretations of Baccarat Rouge, you might as well just get a cheaper alternative. Like if you want this DNA, you might as well just get something cheaper. Baccarat Rouge 540 is definitely an addictive scent. I totally agree with it. But myself now, I mostly use it to mix with other fragrances. So that is kind of a tip to you guys. If you're kind of over it at the moment, because it is quite popular, I feel like any big city, this fragrance is going to be really popular. If you guys are over it, try layering with this fragrance because it makes a beautiful layering fragrance to a lot of different kind of DNAs. So for me, I feel like Baccarat works really well with floral fragrances, so like this and Rouge Malachite for instance, or it mixes really well with like deeper, woodier fragrances like Oud for Greatness from Initio, or even it works really well with gourmands, so maybe Kilian Angel Share, it works really well with that as well. So you can kind of play around, but I feel like I just went on the biggest rant of my life. Baccarat Rouge, it's addictive. Next up, we're gonna go to Naxos from Xerjoff. A lot of you guys, specifically men, said Naxos. I totally agree with this one. Naxos is extremely addictive and very, very, very sexy, especially on a man. Women can definitely pull this fragrance off. I don't feel like it's too much of a masculine fragrance, but saying that, I prefer to smell it on my guy, and it's so, so addictive. Like this that adjective is exactly how I would describe Naxos. Oh my goodness. It's super woody and boozy and smooth and sweet, and in the top you have like a burst of freshness from some lavender and I think bergamot, but as soon as it hits the skin and it starts to kind of settle, you're left with this really delicious, sweet, boozy, nutty, woody scent, and it is just wow, to die for. I love when my partner wears this one. I wish in fact he would wear it more than what he does. You can see he's still worn it, but not that frequently, and I wish he would wear it more because it's so, so good. You have honey, tobacco, cinnamon, lavender, woodiness, booziness. It is just incredible. 10 out of 10 and very, very addictive, especially on a man. Next up, I think it's the only designer that made it to the list and I am so happy about it. It is Baccarat Rouge from Givenchy. You guys know how much I love this fragrance. I smell it and it just makes me want to roll my eyes in the back of my head. This is so incredibly sexy. I love this fragrance. Think of a slightly spicy bubblegum tuberose fragrance. What I get personally is this very sweet, delicious, sexy bubblegum tuberose with a nice woodiness underneath. And yeah, there is a slight spiciness on the top, but I feel like that dissipates quite quickly and you're just left with this very sweet, delectable tuberose fragrance that has something really smooth and woody in the base, and it's just incredible. I cannot recommend this fragrance enough to you guys. Whenever I have people over at my house and somebody asks me, can you recommend me something that is not too expensive but smells really sexy and really strong, I always recommend Baccarat Rouge. Like, I think I made so many sales from this perfume room of Baccarat Rouge because I just know that people are gonna love this scent because it's so sexy. I don't see how anyone could think that it's not. It is just an incredible fragrance and very, very, very addictive. So totally rate this one and I agree with you guys on that. Next up we have Kilian's Angel Share. This one came up a lot. And let me say again, you guys picked some bangers for this list and I totally agree with Angel Share. I actually wore it last night. I mixed it with Starlight from Xerjoff. That was a nice combo. Probably not one of my favorites that I've ever made, but that was a good combo. Wow, I cannot believe, and I want to kick myself for at some point saying that this fragrance was not worth it because I am obsessed. I don't know what was wrong with me at that period of my life. Because this fragrance is just incredible. Sticky, boozy, sweet, woody. I really feel like this dried fruity sensation, like this dried, sweet, caramelized fruity scent mixed with this booziness, this woodiness. I think there's some cinnamon in there. It's, oh my gosh, you guys, it is just delicious and yes, very, very addictive. That is the same word that I would use to describe Angel Share. Very addictive. And what I love about this fragrance is that it's so strong. Like, I can smell it on myself when I'm wearing it. Like, I really hate when I wear a fragrance and I cannot smell it. When I wear Angel Share, I can smell it everywhere and I just love the way that it smells. Absolutely incredible scent. Love it so much, and yes, this is definitely an addictive fragrance. I would recommend this one on a date for sure. Next up, I have to be honest, I was a little surprised that this one kept on coming up. It is Oud Satin Mood from MFK. I was quite surprised that this fragrance came up a lot. Like, it might be in this list in the top 3 of what you guys would consider to be an addictive fragrance. And as much as I do agree with you guys, I was just kind of shocked. It is a rose oud fragrance and I wasn't sure how many of you guys like rose oud fragrances. So, Oud Satin Mood, yes. Yes, it is definitely an addictive scent. This is very, very potent. Very, very, very potent. Like, you don't need more than 3 sprays of this one unless you're Michelle, then you can do 16. But Oud Satin Mood, this is strong, this is slightly powdery, very sweet. What you're gonna get is a very sweet rosin oud. It's not for me like a sticky sweetness, it's more of like this powdered, candied sort of sweetness in here. It really is a beautiful rosin oud fragrance. I think you have violet, rose oud, benzoin, and something else in there, maybe some vanilla. but it truly is beautiful. I was definitely surprised at how many of you guys did say Oud Satin mood, but I can totally see where you're coming from. Next up, we have Layton from Parfums de Malle. Yes, this is definitely addictive, which you wouldn't assume that it would be, because it technically is like a fresh fragrance, but there is so much more going on in Layton. It's fresh and aromatic, yet sweet and very, very woody. And my God, you guys, is this fragrance a showstopper. I've had this fragrance for so many years now. Maybe it's like 4 or 5 years since I've had it. And still when I smell it, it's one of my favorite top 3 men's fragrances ever. And I'm gonna say that right now, and you can hold me to that. Still, to this day, Layton is one of like my top 3 fragrances ever. It is just incredible. I don't know what they did with this fragrance, but it really is a 10 out of 10 masculine fragrance. This is sexy, sexy, sexy. Like I said, you guys know how it smells. It's aromatic, yet it's kind of sweet and very, very woody in the base. And it is just incredible. It projects a lot. It lasts a long time on the skin. It leaves a beautiful cloud, and it's just very, very addictive. Definitely agree with you guys. And yeah, this one, that's what I'm gonna say. Okay guys, next up we have Grand Soir from Maison Kurkdjian. Yes. I'm so happy to have this fragrance back in my collection, because if you guys don't know, this was in Australia for like up until just last Christmas. When I went back home, I finally got it back into my collection, and I'm so, so happy. Grand Soir for me is probably my favorite amber fragrance ever. Like ever. Out of all of the amber fragrances that exist, I would have to say Grand Soir is probably my top amber fragrance ever. This is just incredible. It's so warm and balsamic and woody and sweet. Oh my goodness. It's that sort of very round, warm and balsamic amber scent. It's not spicy, or it's not, I don't know, kind of sticky amber. It's this very cocooning, smooth, warm and cashmere-like amber fragrance. It's just incredible. A 10 out of 10 amber fragrance, and I love it with all of my heart. And like I said, it's probably my top amber fragrance ever. And yes, I agree, this fragrance is incredibly addictive, especially, again, I'm gonna say it, like the cloud that it leaves around you. Oh, and guys, I came up with the most incredible layering combination that is very unusual. Like you wouldn't necessarily think of pairing these 2 fragrances together, so I want to show you guys quickly. I discovered this layering combination in Australia, and I could not stop wearing it. Like when I would go out, or when I would go to like a bar with Pierre or something, every single time I would wear these 2. So you have Grand Soir and Alien Goddess Intense from Mugler. You guys, this combo, if you own both of those fragrances, you must try this. Put on Grand Soir first and then the Alien over the top. It is chef's kiss, incredible, one of my favorite layering combinations that I've found recently. And finally, we have Musc Ravageur from Frederic Malle, aka the fragrance that has been in my wish list for the longest time ever. I really need to purchase a bottle of that one because I love it so much. I have a few fragrances that feel quite similar to Musc Ravageur. I think that's why I haven't pushed the button yet, but Musc Ravageur is just, wow. One of the most beautiful, musky, warm, smooth, woody, ambery fragrance. It is absolutely beautiful by Maurice Roussel. I adore Musc Ravageur, so I totally agree with you guys on this one. It is a masterpiece in my opinion. That is one fragrance that I would consider to be a true masterpiece, and I love it so much. You have the little bit of cinnamon, the little bit of orange in the top. You have the muskiness, the amberiness, and the warm, woody feeling overall. It's just such an opulent and luxurious, smooth fragrance, and I'm obsessed with it. So Musc Ravageur is the last recommendation from you guys, and that is it. I loved the pics. I loved your guys' pics, and I love to do the interactive videos when I ask you guys on Instagram, because I mean, it gets lonely filming by yourself all the time. So I like to do some like more interactive sort of videos, and I adore what you guys suggested. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.